What are we missing when it comes to Iowa voters? Are we underestimating Iowans? I'm joined now by Ed Rollins, a Fox News political analyst and former principal White House advisor to President Reagan, and Hank Sheinkopf, a Democratic strategist, also served on the team for President Bill Clinton's re-election effort.
Thank you.
Everybody assumes, Ed, that they know what Iowans are going to do. Are we underestimating them right now by naming it down to four people, Hillary, Sanders, Trump, Cruz?
Well, 4 years ago, Santorum was certainly not the front runner at the point of the day, and that a third of his vote, 18% of the voters made up their mind the day of the election, and a third of his vote was that vote. So obviously things can change. I assume it's between Trump and Cruz, with Rubio making lots of progress here. If it's like Malibu, I'd be out there. Unfortunately, I've been in Iowa many a night, and I'm glad it's a beautiful day today, but I've been there in cold nights. It's not Malibu. But I think the people take it very seriously. I think there will be a lot of people turn out. 121,000 is the record. The vote record is a contested one is Huckabee at 41,000. Anything above and beyond that is new voters, and obviously new voters are probably more inclined to Trump. I would bet on Cruz and the organization. Anything less than 130,000, he probably wins it easy. If more than 130, then lots of new people are coming to the company.
One thing about new voters, maybe they're not used to the process, Hank, and the process involves people showing up to these precincts and having to listen to a dozen different representatives of each campaign speak anywhere from 3 to 5 minutes. And you know, once they have the mic, they grab it, and you know it's a hostage crowd there, and they will try and pitch for their person. And after 2 hours, you're sitting there saying, "Can I please vote already? I'm out."
Well, you know, headaches aren't conducive to democracy necessarily. But we do know, and what people are assuming is somehow young people are going to be coming out voting for Bernie and going caucusing for Bernie Sanders on one side and for Donald Trump on the other side. But there's nothing to indicate that that would actually occur. It would have to be a revolutionary move because both parties have a kind of non-status quo candidates. Can they get the numbers up? Well, it's questionable, frankly.
Ed, you brought up what Rick Santorum was able to do. Trump's Iowa campaign is led by Chuck Loudner, the man who engineered that Rick Santorum effort.
He's one of the great pros. The difference is Chuck put Santorum in a pickup truck and drove to all 99 counties. I don't think in any of this Trump has been outside of his big airplane. So my sense is it's a different kind of campaign.
This is a live picture of him, by the way, and he's in Cedar Rapids. Obviously, he was in Waterloo earlier. Is that enough?
Historically, Iowas are very much like New Hampshire's. They want to shake your hand, they want to meet you, they want to meet you more than one time. He's gone in and done big events, and I think to a certain extent we'll see whether the game is a different game than Hank and I grew up with, and we'll see.
Hank, between Hillary and Bernie Sanders.
Sure.
What do you think is the real feel for how Iowans actually feel? And by the way, everybody talks about, as
Sure.
Lindsey Graham talked, he said, Jesus and ethanol. First of all, 50% or so of Iowans are evangelical, feeling very Christian in their hearts, etc. But another 50 aren't. So you don't really know how either side is going to feel.
Well, it's not that evangelicals have dominated the Republican voting patterns, but they've been significant. It's not that unions have dominated the voting patterns on the Democrat side, but they have. So let's step back, take a breath, and say who's going to get that vote. And generally, it'll go to the perceived incumbent, the person perceived to have the longest-term relationship with those unions, and that would not be Bernie Sanders, but Hillary Clinton. Bernie Sanders has got to count on a younger vote.
The evangelicals are misinterpreted there. They're a very important voting group. They're as high as 57, 60%, but no one gets a majority. The last two, Huckabee and Santorum, got pluralities, and at the end of the day, the biggest plurality, that was the most important plurality, was women voters. Both Huckabee and Santorum carried women voters. Trump's strength has been men voters. We'll see whether women go along with
that. A poor showing in Iowa ends whose campaign?
Well, Trump's strategic move here was to say, look, I'm going to win Iowa, and he nearly got, if he gets close, he says that's wonderful. What he should have done probably is laid back, hope he got within shot of Cruz, who is the evangelical candidate.
Who's out?
The bottom of the group will be gone.
Huckabee, Santorum,
gone.
Some of the others. The ones that don't have a chance in New Hampshire, and I would say those are the non-governors.
Good to see both of you.
Thank
Ed
you.
Rollins,
Thank you.
Hank Sheinkopf.